You're listening to Kizuki, the podcast. I'm Mae Yoshikawa, and I define the Japanese concept of Kizuki as the following. Kizuki. 1. A moment of epiphany, an aha of realization or insight which opens the knower to a new dimension of truth that was formerly unknown. 2. Steps in an incremental growth of awareness, resulting in a movement from ignorance to greater awareness of the bigger picture. A kind of knowing that cannot be undone, that cannot be unrealized. As a longtime yoga and meditation practitioner, a world traveler, and curious self-explorer, I'm obsessed with Kizukis. Listen on each week for inspiring and enlightening stories that may just tip you over for your next aha. On this week's episode, leave the door open. The other day, in a conversation with my dear friend, she said something that caught my attention. She said, "I like to keep my doors and windows open because you never know who's going to come in or when." That was a curious moment for me. I remembered all the scenes, how open and welcoming she's always been. As far as I know, I've never really seen her close her heart to anyone. And a particular memory came up from a time where she was living close to me, and during COVID, when so many people were so afraid, closed, and divided over vaccines, restrictions, rules, masks, I don't think, as far as I know, she really ever bought into the divisiveness. I witnessed her keep her heart open, and literally the doors and windows of her house open as she allowed people, friends, to gather in her home, in spite of the fact that she was raising children, working, running an entire household, and she just had her way of managing to live with this beautiful, non-judgmental openness. I love to hear her say that phrase about keeping her doors and windows open because, well, of course, this wasn't accidental on her part. This was intentional. So that's how this phrase, leaving the doors and windows open, stayed with me. Because if I'm honest, I, for the large part of my life, have been somewhat of the opposite. And then I had this vivid picture enter my mind where I'm the kind of person who built a moat around my castle, designed with a drawbridge and one of those like super high, thick rock walls. Like, I don't know if you guys were like Game of Thrones watchers, but those kind of like double mile high, tall stone walls. And then only if I see you earn my trust, I might let the thick chains down and slowly, cautiously allow the drawbridge down. Just enough to suss things out before I decide if you might be the lucky few I might lower the drawbridge for. And it's kind of funny now because that picture is so vivid. But when I reflect on why that is, it's a little bit less funny because it's so clear to me that it's because of pains I've suffered in the past. The pain of abandonment, the pain of betrayal, the pain of people not turning out to be who you thought they were after you trusted them intensely. So, yeah, I think I let those experiences harden me in the past. I couldn't help but let them make me more cautious and protective of my softy heart. But also, as you survive such experiences, It doesn't just stay stale. You grow, you evolve, and you get up again. I have, and I think many of you have too. Something else happens because those hardened bits of your heart, they start to tug at you, almost like they're trying to nudge you. Maybe it's like they're whispering, maybe it's time to reconsider. Perhaps that's why my friend's words really stayed with me so much, because in my own life, this idea of which doors and how many windows do I want to keep open, when, and how wide is up for reconsideration. To those of you who've always been the open type and who've never, I'm sure everyone's had their own sense of pain and hardship, but maybe for you, it wasn't the kind that led you to close your doors and windows. Congrats. I heartfully mean that. And I hope you never have those experiences that are so harsh that they cause you to shut down. Just keep it up, right? Just keep being open, because we need more of those people in the world. And for those of you who might be more like me, who've been through the unexpected turns again and again of grief, hardship, the kind of pain that makes you close the doors and windows of your heart. Here's the thing. You're not damaged. Wait, I know it feels like you're totally damaged, because I know I felt that way for many, many years. And yeah, you might feel hardened, but you're not hardened forever. Your heart is alive, wise, with its own capacity to heal. So maybe you might consider to still choose to open again. Not because you don't know pain, but because through the pain, you take and learn from it what you will, and you refuse to let it harden you, at least not for too long. And you choose to be the one to still say yes to life. Yes to the risk of opening again. Yes to loving again after loss. The hard part is to choose that, even knowing it might go badly again, even knowing that there are no guarantees. So for me, maybe what it's really boiling down to is this: self-trust. Because there are no promises in life. Even if you've done all the work and learned all your lessons, still there's no guarantee it won't happen again. In fact, the one guarantee we all share is that everyone we love will die. Whether before us or after us, we don't know. We don't know when. We don't know how. And yet, we still love. There's a teacher named Kyle Cease, and I heard him say something that struck a chord with me. I'm paraphrasing here, but he said something like, the ego says, because everything will end, and I'll lose everything, I will never love again. But the soul says, because everything will end, I'm going to give it my all. And maybe it's as simple as that. Are you going to live from your ego trying to avoid pain? Or are you going to live from your soul no matter what the cost? Gosh, I gotta tell you, living from your soul feels so good. It just feels so right. Again, not that it prevents you or helps you to avoid the pain in life, but that there is a rightness that expands the capacity of your heart so much that it can't hurt you, at least not on the level of your soul. These things, it can't hurt you. I know which one I am. And today I'm asking you to ask yourself, which are you? Leave the window open. Leave the door unlocked. And maybe you'll let life surprise you. Thank you for listening. I have a special announcement. At last, we're holding an online Kizuki journaling session in English. It's happening soon on November 11th, 2025 in the evening for those of you in North America, and on November 12th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Japan Standard Time. It's a short 45-minute program and everyone is welcome. To be the first to receive details and registration info, sign up for my newsletter at kizukijournaling.com. That's kizukijournaling.com. A recorded archive will be available for everyone who signs up. But if the time works for you, I would so love to see you live on Zoom.